All right, welcome back to Shed Sesh, spiciest podcast in the world, episode 4. Today we have Arnold Palmer spiked original drink in this tall ass can right here.
It's like Arizona.
Yeah, it's like an Arizona sized can. Mine's hella dented. Big ass raindrop just fell through our ceiling. All right, let's crack this open and see what this is all about.
Stir it a little bit.
Little ASMR. Well, it's pretty good. This tastes absolutely nothing like alcohol.
Yeah, it just tastes like an Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, I got some alcohol. Probably get plastered on these things, dude. It's only 5%. I'll be full before that. It's got no macros on here.
Yeah, there's no information on it.
Jesus Christ.
How am I supposed to put this on MyFitnessPal?
It's probably like 600 grams of sugar in here. Dwayne Wades' son, transgender daughter, Zion, 12 years old, who now wants to be referred as Zaya or Zaya. I'm not sure how you would pronounce that. Zaya. And I believe Dwayne Wade went on... I want to say I saw him on Ellen, but I don't know if he was on any other, like, those, like, talk shows and stuff. There's, like, tons of, posts on it on the internet that you can look up. But basically, he's in full support of his transgender daughter or biologically born son transferring genders.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
It's good you're supportive. You know, you never want to be that parent that's
Not supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, at that age, could you really know?
Yeah. So my thing is, you remember when you were in, like, middle school or, like, even high school, like, freshman, and you were like, oh, like, or maybe, like, it doesn't apply to you, but, like, maybe friends that you had or whatever, but everyone was, like, wanting to get tattooed, you know? And it's like, oh, I want this tattooed and this. And there's always something that, like, now when you look back at it, you're like, well, I'm really glad I didn't get that tattooed on me. And I'm also not, like, comparing, you know, like, being transgender to getting a tattoo, but in the concept of, like, the state of mind that you're in when you're younger, especially for, I think males, like, brains don't stop absorbing or, like, learning until, I want to say it was, like, 25. I read something about that. I think it was 25. Yeah. And so that whole time you're just experiencing and learning life. And what we were talking about earlier is that there's, like, or there could be a small chance that younger boys or girls might be gay or lesbian, and they just want to be accepted by society. So it's like, okay, if I'm a 12-year-old boy and I'm attracted to boys, but all around me I see that you can only like a boy if you're a girl, then you're like, okay, well, I want to be a girl then because I like boys, instead of, like, just saying, like, hey, I'm gay, which is fine. Like, and regardless of, like, whatever they choose, like, they should be supported by their parents. And as, like, they grow up, they're also going to realize that, you know, there's going to be people that don't support them. Like Lil Boozy. Did you see that video that he posted?
Yep, I watched it a couple times.
He was hitting the elliptical, I think.
Wasn't he? I thought he was sitting down.
Oh, was he? I thought he was, like, running or something. Dude looked hella out of breath.
He looked kind of sweaty.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a pretty interesting time where it's like everyone wants to have their own opinion, but no one wants to hear other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he has a right to his own opinion, but I think he came in way too strong.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, like, there's a lot of people that are bashing him for what he said, right? And I think he was just saying, like, that if he was gay or, like, you wanted to support him in whatever way, like, just don't cut his dick off. Like, don't do that, like, whatever. And for, yeah, like you said, he was coming in too hot, first of all, because I mean, just his background and like, you know, all that stuff. But then instantly, like, people start attacking him, right? And it's like, oh, you can't say that, or like, if you support Lil Boosie, like this and this and this, which is like, we're already getting into like cancel culture at this point.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have the right to say, like, that if you associate your beliefs with like the same beliefs as Lil Boosie, like, don't talk to me or like block me or this and that, is the same right that Lil Boosie has to say what he said in that video.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with him or whether you don't agree with him, he still had the right to say whatever he wanted to say. And it's not a hate crime because he's not committing a crime. He's actually just expressing his freedom of speech. He's not telling anybody to go attack the boy or girl. He's not telling anybody to do anything to Dwayne Wade. He's not saying any of that. He simply expressed his opinion, and he gave his suggestion to Dwayne Wade, and that's it. You know, Dwayne Wade is obviously going to choose to not take his advice or take his advice, like one or the other. Like, whatever he decides to do with his daughter, like, that's his choice. That's up to him. He doesn't have to do what anybody else tells him, and I'm sure that he feels amazing with all the support that he's getting regardless. Like, one person saying something negative, or not even negative, just one person that has a contradictory belief to his, shouldn't really be able to stop him in what he's doing and all the support that he's getting, right? But yeah, I mean, my only thing is, like, I don't think that a child should be able to make that big of a decision when they're younger.
Yeah.
And by decision, I mean like an actual sex change, or being given testosterone or hormones. Yeah. Like, anything that's going to affect them in the future, in the long run, I don't think that should be like legal. Like, I don't think that you should be able to give your son or daughter puberty blockers or testosterone hormone, like anything like that, because they're too young to make that decision, like, in their head. Like, kids want one thing and the next day they want one thing. Like, hell, I'm 25 and I want to do this, and then the next day I want to do something else. Like, I can't make up my mind on stuff. And so you're telling me that a kid that is 12 years old feels like he's a woman or a girl that is in a boy's physical body, which is fine. You know, if you feel like that, that's completely fine. And like, I'm really glad that Dwayne Wade is supporting his daughter in this like journey that she's going through. And I do hope that in the end of it, like, it was the right decision. You know, like, I do hope that she sticks with that for her whole life, and that at the end, like, when she's older and realizes, like, yeah, this is like actually like what I want, I'm gonna go through with the sex change, then good for her. You know, like, 100% good for her. I just don't think that anything should be going on while she is that young. But like, by all means, like, support is support. You know, like, if you want to go to like I know they're going to like all the pride stuff and like the LGBT community like events, and like, that's cool. Like, that's like really big support for her, and they're like kind of just like immersing her in that culture, and that's good for her, because like, if that's what she wants, then that's what she wants. I just don't think that any kind of like medical stuff should be happening until she's technically considered an adult and can make the decision on her own. But until then, if they're supporting her in her journey until she's 18, then good for her. Like, that's cool, you know? And Lil Boosie definitely should have just kind of went about it in a more calm manner, because like, just like being radical like that and like making these videos that are like, you know, with that, like, he has a following and stuff, like, it's not going to go well in any way, shape, or form, you know? And there's even people that do address certain things very calmly and professionally with all the facts, and they still like get hated on.
Yeah, I was
like,
just about to go into that.
Yeah,
because nowadays you can't have an opposing opinion. Even, it's like, I don't necessarily believe in what you believe, but, you know, I'm not gonna pick at your house or, you know, protest you. You
right.
know? You do you, but, you know, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
people still see that as a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of See, my thing is that the the left is so radical that it doesn't work to just like blurt out and like be screaming and like you're eating yourself alive at that point. And like if you do have opinions that are contrary to the right, which is majority of America based off of our last presidential election, the right way to approach things is not by like going out and just like telling everybody that they're stupid and like that, you know, like
or they're Nazis.
Yeah, that like you shouldn't agree with them. And like the main point that I want to get with it is that it's okay for people to have different beliefs than what you have. And just because they have those different beliefs doesn't mean that you can't conversate and like just try to educate yourself as well as educate them on your beliefs and let yourself get educated on their beliefs. Because if you don't look at both sides of one big like thing, then you're never gonna like really understand what's going on. And that's why like if we get into like politics, like there's some things on the right that I'm like, okay, like, you know, like I agree with that, like that sounds good to me. And then there's a lot of things on the left that I'm like, that sounds good to me too. But I'm not just gonna like be on the left and be like, no, like I'm gonna like believe in everything that's on the left. Because if you're on the left, you gotta be on the left. Like I'm not talking about like you're kind of on the left. Like you gotta be on the fucking left. And if you're on the right, it's the same thing, dude. Like if you're on the right, you can't just be like 1 foot on the right. Like you gotta be fucking on the right. Like MAGA hat and all, you know. Like they don't let you stand in the middle. And then it's like, well, what if I have certain beliefs that are, you know, towards the left, but then I also have certain beliefs that are towards the right. Then we have nowhere to stand, and then the only thing to do is fucking build a shed and start a podcast.
America, we're in a tough spot right now.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. We're not in a good place in the world, I guess, because everyone just seems to be like so like wanting to fight for everything. And like I was talking to Zaya the other day about like, man, I just went on one of those rants where like at the end of it she's just like, are you like done?
Are
like,
you done?
Yeah,
like midnight.
We started at 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's like midnight, and I'm just like, you get what I'm saying at the end of all of it? And she's just like, uh-huh. But I was just telling her about how like we have billions of people in the world, and well, like let's subtract the world, but like in America, you know, like millions of people. Well, like you take the population in America, and you like imagine if every single person in America that could like read and write on a paper wrote down like everything they wanted in a perfect world, and they just like mailed it to the government, like, and the government's job was to find a solution that fit every single person. It's not gonna happen. Like no way is it ever going to happen. Like nobody or not everybody in the world is gonna, or not everybody in our country is gonna be pleased with the end result of like what happens in, you know, in our laws and our presidencies and like all that stuff. Like not everyone is always gonna be happy. And so like that's why they create these like two parties, you know, left and right. And it's like, well, you know, if your beliefs are left, your beliefs are right, then join the party. And it's like, well, that still leaves a large amount of people, I believe, that are stuck in this middle area where now they feel left out because it's like, well, I can't join the left because I also agree with having guns, you know, or I can't join the right because I also believe in pro-choice or whatever. And it's like, well, I'm just going to stand here in the middle and just wait it out, you know? But yeah, it's a tough spot, man. It's definitely a tough spot.
I mean, even standing in the middle, I forgot who it was. I'd say it was like Demi Lovato or someone like that. And people were like getting on her for not sharing her, I guess, political stance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think it was someone else. I think it's like, I forgot. I think it might have been like Taylor Swift or something. And people got on her for sharing her beliefs.
For sharing them.
Yeah. Because they didn't agree with her. Because they said that she needed to use her platform for good. But It all depends what you really see as good and bad.
Right. And that's the other thing is like you can't expect somebody that has built like a giant platform for themselves to use it for whatever your selfish needs are, you know? You can't go on Twitter or Instagram and be like, "Well, they're doing this to like this certain like organization, like why aren't you doing anything about it?" You know? And it's like, "Well, what the hell? Like because I don't want to." Like just as easily as like making one opinion, like they can lose that platform and they know that. And when that's your main source of income and like your livelihood, I think that they would rather stay out of it, and people should definitely respect that. And that kind of just goes back to that whole thing about like how rich people should not be held accountable for like fixing the world's problems too, you know, because they worked for that. Which was like a whole other episode. If you haven't heard episode 3, go listen to it right now. Moving on from that topic though, because that was a hot topic. I don't think we have like real opinions on it. We just kind of wanted to like bring it up on the podcast, and somebody actually suggested it. Events. Yeah. But GMC is making a Hummer. What do you think about the Hummer?
Electric Hummer?
Electric Hummer. Truck.
I think it looks pretty cool, but I don't know. I feel like the Hummer already is pretty heavy. I don't know how much heavier it's going to be now with batteries.
That's true. But removing the motor, though?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure electric cars are still heavier.
Are they?
Regular cars, yeah.
Oh, I never looked into that. What about just like electric vehicles in general? What's your take on that?
So I think it's I don't know. I think it's just moving with the technology. I don't know. I feel like there's still some kind of iffy areas. Like, what if you travel to the middle of the U.S. where you're supposed to charge your car, or what if you don't have enough range to go? It's a lot more accessible to just fuel up than it is to charge your car.
So you're saying like that the world has to adapt to it before we
need to be more ready to
take it on.
Embrace it, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Like I could see like, you know, if I was like, let's go to Yosemite or something. You know, it's like, where am I going to charge my car up there or something like that? That makes sense. Because they only have like one fuel station up there or something. But if they had a car that, because I was listening to something about like they were saying like, oh, when Tesla like releases a car that can go across the country and back like on one charge, like then that's basically when the world is ready for electric vehicles, because there's no worry at that point. It's going across the country and back. I need to charge it once a year to get to work, 15 minutes from my house. I'm buying one. That's like already. I mean, you're saving so much on gas. But I think that GMC, actually, I had read that they're investing, like, I want to say it was $3 million. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of low, and like it might be $3 billion. But they said that they were investing. Yeah, they were investing like 3 something, maybe 3 billion. We'll say 3 billion, but like they're investing 3 billion into electric vehicles. And we're talking like GMC, like an American made, you know, like they're known for their trucks, and like, I mean, they're known for like being American made and being union made, like all their employees, and like people support them for that, you know, being American made and being made by union employees. So people always like support that, and for them to be like, hey, we're releasing or we're investing X amount of dollars in electric vehicles for the future, I feel like that's kind of like a big step for America in general to move towards the electric vehicle stuff. And then, I mean, Harley releasing the electric motorcycle, right? That was a while back, but they released that electric motorcycle, and Harley is like, you know a definition of America, Harley Davidson. And they released that electric bike that looks kind of a little bit funky.
I thought it looked a little bit weird.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, okay, what's the thing about, like, why is every company that makes a hybrid or electric car before Tesla was invented, why do they make all the cars look ugly?
Aerodynamics, maybe?
Yeah, but like,
I mean, a Prius.
but most cars are aerodynamic. Like most sedans are
Yeah.
aerodynamic. They're round,
Mm.
unless you have like a Charger. But like, yeah, like why are Priuses so ugly?
Maybe
You're like,
because it's a hatchback too.
yeah, but like you're telling me, but like okay, you move forward and like they got the electric Mustang.
Mm.
They got trucks that are electric, motorcycles that are electric. Dude, they released an
You gotta
electric
compromise
Wrangler.
somewhere. Gotta compromise.
But yeah, well, but I'm just saying like beforehand it was like, well, my only option is like a Prius because it's hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell is that shit so ugly? Shout out to everybody with a Prius.
If you have a Prius, chime in, please.
Yeah, let us know.
We'll
Why
get
a
back to
Prius?
you next episode.
Like right now, I wouldn't mind buying a Tesla because
Yeah,
like
they
I
look
really,
like an actual car.
yeah, like I really like how they look. What do you think about the Cybertruck?
I was about
though?
to ask you that.
I don't know.
I think I like it just because it looks so different.
I don't
it
like
looks
the
like the
steering
future.
wheel, dude.
It looks like a future. It looks like straight out of a video game or a movie that they made back in the
Yeah.
day. It's like, whoa, yep.
I just don't know if I'd like purchase one of those for the amount that it costs. Like, there's just other trucks that I would rather own. I think. How much is it? Like 40 grand? Like starts at like 40, right?
I think the starting.
Yeah, like the
one,
base one is
Yeah.
40 or something, which like isn't bad. Like, you know, trucks are expensive. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably rather buy like a GMC or like, fuck the Jeep truck, dude. If they make that thing
Gladiator?
electric, hell yeah.
I don't know. I think I still like gas vehicles. Just,
Yeah. I saw something about like I forgot what company it was or like someone that was working on or already made it, but it was like a electric vehicle, but they put speakers on the outside to
heard of that,
sound
yeah.
like a muscle car,
Mhm.
and I was like, I don't know, like you're stepping out of line right here. You're wasting too much electricity on those speakers. Could be saving it and just getting an extra 10 miles.
It's a future, but I don't know if I agree with it.
Do you think that it's like gonna be until like we die that it's like fully 100% like, oh, this is like the future? Like, do you think that we're gonna end up seeing a point where like all the brands that make cars
Mhm.
are making like an electric option?
I feel like for sure we're gonna be living in that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like older.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like 80 years old.
I was about to say, watch it be like in 10 years.
Yeah.
Coming to you live from the Cybertruck version 28.
Damn, dude.
It's a little bit
imagine.
outdated, but you know it still runs good.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think anything like what Apple did to their phones is gonna happen with electric cars, where they just slow down once the newer models come out?
Damn, that's an interesting point. I never even thought about that. I don't think so. Only because we're talking like a times 400 scale on price. You know? Like Apple was like, okay, whatever, like we're sending these phones out. No one's buying a fucking iPhone, you know, $1,200 upfront cash. Everyone's financing them.
I was about to say, what about the
For-
11 Pro Max?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if I get it, like I'm not fucking buying it up front, you know? I'm gonna pay $20 a month for the next fucking 5 years or whatever. And I'm cool with that. But I think that's why it's easier for them to say like, oh yeah, let's slow it down and release a new one. And then, cause all you gotta do is go to your carrier and be like, hey, I want to upgrade. And they're like, okay, we'll give you X amount of credit for this phone. And then, you know, give me 300 down. And then we'll give it to you for $25 a month, $30 a month, whatever. Which makes sense. But like, how are you going to slow down my car? And then I got to go back and be like, damn, dude, I just paid this thing off. You want me to buy another one?
Yep, they give you a little over half
Yeah.
off.
I would say that if they were smart, if you're listening, Musk, they would slow down the car after 6 years, though. Not every year. Because
Yeah.
cars come out every year, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
I would slow it down like every 6 years.
Once the new like generation model comes out.
Well, basically once like, okay, like let's say the Cybertruck's releasing this year.
Mm-hmm.
So then 6 years from now, I would slow it down because that's like right around the time when everyone's going to be done paying it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's more of an option to be like, oh yeah, like I'll just upgrade. It's been 6 years. I'm almost done paying it. Take it off my hands, and I'll get the new one.
Well, see, that's it. You get them right before they pay it off.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Yeah. I think that would be like the smart choice. But I just don't see car companies doing that. Like, I don't think they're in that business. I mean, it is a business, but like I feel like their business is also innovation, not really like how many of these can we get sold.
I was about to say, well, what if it's more of like, let's say it's more kind of like I guess the best analogy would be like a PC, where it's already built, you already bought it, but you get different upgrades for it.
So, like you get upgrades every...
Yeah, like let's say they could just pull off the top shell, and then they
upgrade your graphics card.
Upgrade your windshield.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, what if they say, you know, you could upgrade the transmission or your batteries to get better range, or...
Yeah, you know, that's actually a pretty good take on it, because I don't think any car company's doing that as far as like EVs go. But like, well, I mean, normal cars, everybody's just like fixing them up and like doing stuff to them. But yeah, that'd actually be a good point. Like they just sell like a frame basically, and then you can like, let's say the Cybertruck frame was selling for 20 G's, and then they're like, okay, add your motor, add your this and this and this, and then depending on your ads, it ranges from, you know, 40,000 to 68,000 or something like that. And then when you're done, you're like, you bought it, and then they're like, oh, introducing the new like blah 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 motor for this or this or whatever parts are like inside of the like a motherboard upgrade or something, right? And they're like, oh, you could come get it right now for only, like, let's say it was like $7,000 or something, right? And you take it in, $7,000, they redo your loan, it adds like fucking $10 a month, and you get an upgrade. Pretty good solution, you know?
Say there was a phone not too long ago that was kind of like that.
The Essential? Was that the one?
I think it was the one where the back.
The blocks, and it comes out. Yeah. Dude, I was watching that phone for such a long time. And I was like, I really want to get that phone just because like it looked like little Legos. Like you just move them around. Damn, I was going to say something. What did I say? Oh, well, while we were on the topic of like EVs and cars in general, like someone on the Instagram gave us a topic. It was actually multiple topics, but he said like talk about cars in general. So favorite car.
Ooh, favorite car.
Yeah.
Modern car or just in general?
Favorite car.
I need a minute. Do you got something?
I think that I really, really like the only car that I think that I would purchase, because I don't like cars. Like I'm not a car guy. I really, really like the Charger. Like the newer version, not like I want to say like the 13 and up version. They like redid the body at some point. I don't know what year it was. And those like really look nice to me. Don't like the Challengers. Shit looks like a boat.
I like the Challengers.
You like the Challenger?
Really wide. Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate the Challenger, dude. It looks so big. And I like the Tesla. I don't think I'd buy one. If we're going like EV, I'd rather buy like a truck that's electric. But yeah, like car wise, I think Charger, and like I really like the really old Volkswagen Rabbits. And I think that's it. That was like my first car. I really like that one. You got anything?
I just like the old school muscle cars, Mustangs, Camaros.
All those like
Chargers.
old wide ones.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
They're made out of like cast iron and shit.
Yep.
Unstoppable. No seatbelts, no airbags.
Just a wire steering wheel. just fly straight through it.
Just a wrench. What else? What about trucks?
Ooh, I like trucks.
Favorite truck?
Favorite truck or truck that I would want?
Like, you could pop a truck out right now.
Ooh, if someone if Bezos came out right now and said, you know what?
Mike walks in right now.
Mike?
Yeah. I just got paid. What truck do you want?
Let's see. I kind of like I like the Colorados just because they're smaller.
The new one?
Yeah.
Colorado or Tacoma?
Not Colorado.
Yeah, over the Tacoma?
Yeah.
Really? I'd go Tacoma all day over the Colorado.
I don't know. The Velociraptor is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
6
Shout
by
out to
6.
Posty. That fucking truck is badass. Thing's easily like 6 figures, though.
Yeah. I saw a video when they were like testing it out. Not his specifically, but yeah, before he got his.
His had like a turret stand in the back. You seen that?
Yeah. Has
was
that
like,
little thing. Just drop your turret on
yeah,
it.
dude.
I'll say, where does he live?
I want to say he lives somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Utah?
Is that even legal?
Probably.
I was just like, Utah's not East Coast.
It's east from California.
Anything not California is East Coast.
Yeah, anything not California is East
Except
Coast
Texas.
To me.
Texas is just Texas.
I got California, Oregon, and Washington. If you're not in one of those 3 states, you're in the East Coast to me.
What about Alaska? What are the West Coast still?
Ah, man. Alaska's like another country, dude. Have you seen that meme where they put up, they're like, oh, we're signing a petition to rename the United States South Canada? Have you seen that? And somebody was laughing. They're like, what about Alaska? And then they're like, we'll rename it to Canada a little bit to the left. And then somebody like photoshopped a map. Yeah, and it was like Canada, South Canada, and then Canada a little bit to the left.
Well, would that rename Mexico, like South America?
Super South Canada.
Extreme South
Extremely
Canada.
as south as it gets, Canada. Yeah, but for trucks, dude, I really like the GMC Sierra. Like that truck when it's like hella lifted, like that truck is amazing.
Hella lifted?
Like hella lifted.
6 feet up? 8 feet up?
I mean, it's probably already 6 feet, like, you know, like to the door. No, I'd put like a 6-inch lift on it, maybe. Big ass tires, small rims. And then the old FJ Cruisers, the FJ 40s. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
They like look like little like outdoor adventure. Oh my god, I fucking love those. It's like my dream car. But besides that, like I really like the Tacoma though. I'd go Tacoma over Tundra. You like the Tundra?
I think I'd go Ram over both of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ram's cool. Like I really like the Ram, but like I heard they're like not as reliable.
Yeah.
Like I heard that you're gonna get like 3-4 years out of it before you. Also, maybe Ram guys are just fucking like drifting their trucks or something. I don't know. New Silverado though, don't like it.
No?
No, I hate the grill on the new
Right.
Silverado. It looks like it sits really low. Like the front of the grill like comes down. It looks almost like it's gonna tuck under the wheel. I don't like that. The model right before that, body change, really liked it. 4Runners, really nice. Can't get on board with the Colorado though.
No? What about the
No.
Ranger?
Oh, the new Ranger actually low-key looks kind of good. But I feel like if I bought one, I'd really be like, fuck, I should have just got an F-150. Like, this thing's very small. It looks like a mini F-150, and I'm just like...
That's
like,
the appeal of it.
Yeah,
I
but
used
like...
to have a tiny truck.
Yeah?
It was fun. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, dude, like, I feel like if I had it, like, I'd be like, man, like, if it was just a little bit bigger, like, it'd be so nice. And it's like, oh, it could be a little bit bigger. It's called an F-150.
I was about to say, I thought there was one in between them.
In between the F-150?
Yeah, like the Ranger's the small one, then...
I don't think so.
I think I might have been thinking about something else.
Yeah. Because they just have... I was telling Soraya the other day, I was like, I think that I really want, like, a F-250 Super Duty.
Goddamn.
But not the one with 6 tires, though. I fucking hate trucks that have 6 tires. Like, I think they look so ugly. Except for the Velociraptor, but because the Velociraptor, like, has, like, a really nice, like, subtle, like, fender flare. Where, like, it covers all the tires. And, like, you ever seen, like, those F-250s that are on there that look like they got, like, fucking... It just literally looks like 2 ginormous,
yeah, I was about
like,
to say,
things on the side.
I think the difference is the Velociraptor, they were in line.
Yeah,
while,
they're straight, right?
Yeah, while the other ones are
they sit
side
out.
by side, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I was about to say, what's the appeal
Oh,
of
yeah,
that?
huh? Because there's 1, 2 instead of 1, 2 on the side. Yeah, they run straight. Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, Ford needs to learn to do that to all their trucks.
But I think there's a Mercedes that has that design too.
Mercedes truck?
Yeah.
Which one is a Mercedes truck?
I can't recall, but yeah, I think it was out before the Velociraptor.
You know what truck I fucking hate?
What?
The Honda truck. Have you seen the Honda truck?
I think I do.
Dude, it literally looks like the Honda minivan, and they like cut the roof off at a slant.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Oh my god. I hate that truck. Every time I see that truck, like I always see like an older dude, like older white dude.
And I was like, who buys that? Like,
yeah, and I feel like it's
I need a Honda truck.
I feel like it's maybe just like hardcore like Honda. Like Honda's like hella reliable.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's maybe just like older gentlemen that are like stuck in their ways, and they're like, oh, Honda, like I've had Honda my whole life, and it's like, oh shoot, Honda released this truck, gonna buy it. So they just buy the Honda truck. But yeah, I don't know about the Honda truck, man.
All right, so one car right now. Which would you get?
One car?
One car right now.
I want to say the Charger. I really like the Charger. I used to have the Charger, but not the new body style. I had like the old body style that was like, it just looked like really round.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new one, like the grill like sits like super low to the ground, and then it has like that nice like little contour in the back wheel that like kind of like slides down.
Mm-hmm.
That one's like super nice. I'd get it like in like slate gray or like really bright orange, one or the other. And the SRT8 model, super badass. I'm trying to think because like I feel like there's another car that I really like, but I don't remember what it is. What about supercars?
Supercars?
Yeah, or like luxury cars. Do you like any of those?
Yeah, I like them. They're interesting design. Like Lamborghinis are pretty cool.
You like the shape of the Lambo?
I think it looks cool. I don't know because I'm pretty tall and I feel like they sit pretty low.
But I think that your feet sit out.
Yeah,
like
so
all the way down.
Like
well, it's kind of like your car.
I'm pretty sure theirs is like more angled than mine.
Yeah. But I mean, like, cause yours you sit low and then your feet like.
Yeah, cause their cars sit really low though.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that your feet like pop out of the headlights in the Lambo.
Your feet are just in the engine compartment?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's where they're at. Because there's big people that drive a Lambo, dude. Like tall people. They're like basketball players and like football players. Like I'm pretty sure they got Lambos.
Yeah, I was about to say they're probably custom made, but I don't
think so.
I saw there's a professional bodybuilder that drives a Lambo.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but
wait, which one?
He's short.
Oh. Seth?
No, not Seth.
Oh.
He's out in like Middle East.
Isn't Seth like 5'6" or something?
Something like that, but he drives a truck.
Oh, I know. Well, he was talking about the Lambo, and he was like, no, he said he'd get the Lambo truck.
Yeah.
Which is like an SUV. I don't know why everybody calls it a Lambo truck. Because he said that one would be able to get.
I think that's weird.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it looks like an SUV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't look like a Lamborghini. It just has the brand of Lamborghini.
It has the badge on it.
Yeah, but you're going to buy a Lambo, it's because people are going to be impressed when you pull up in a Lambo.
You still pull it up in your Lambo, though. Vroom.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, I'm your Uber.
I think I'd be more impressed with, or not more impressed, but like I think that it'd be almost equivalent to buy like a nice Mercedes SUV or something like that. As like a Lambo SUV, like they're not that impressive. The cars, like some of them look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like those like really just like plain ones, like those first model ones. Those are kind of ugly. What about that BMW one?
BMW.
They have one that looks kind of like a Lambo. I think it's called the i8, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That one's kind of cool.
I think it looks pretty.
I'm not a big fan of the color scheme, though. It's like white with like blue and black, and it looks like...
Well, all of the I-Series have that same color scheme.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't pay attention that much.
I think it's interesting.
Then they have the Audi. I really wanted a GTR for a long time.
I'm about to say, GTRs are pretty cool. I think they seem pretty functional.
Yeah. Some dude I delivered to at work in one of the hospitals, he has a GTR. It's like a very, very old man, though. It looked like he like worked a long time to get that thing.
What about the new Supra?
Isn't it like a... Doesn't it have like a BMW engine in it or something?
I think it does.
I heard something about that. One of my buddies told me that. He's like really into cars, but it looks cool. I just don't like sports cars. Like I don't like how small they are. Like I don't know. When I was younger, I used to really, really, really want the BMW. What is it? The Z3, I think, or the Z4 or something like that. And I saw one the other day on the freeway, and I was like, literally cannot believe that, like, that's the car that I wanted. Like, that thing is so ugly. It's so tiny, and then the hood sticks out like 2 cars in advance. Like, it's so long. But yeah, I just like trucks and like Jeeps and stuff. That's like what I like. I just don't like my Jeep. I like other Jeeps.
I like other people's Jeeps.
I like other people's Jeeps. I don't like my Jeep. Well, moving on from the EVs, because we talked about that for a while, or even I think we talked about normal cars for a longer time. What do you think about hunting animals?
From what I've seen, everyone that hunts tends to be pretty. It seems to be like an actual passion. It's not just something they do for fun.
Is it wrong to be passionate about killing animals?
I think it depends. Like, if you're hunting like deer and stuff, more often than not, they're actually eating them and everything. And they know what they're doing, so it's not like they're just shooting them for fun for the gram.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like the people that go to Africa and just, I don't know.
Like the trophy hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd kill them. I'm not on board with trophy hunting. Not on board at all with trophy hunting. You've ever seen that episode of Naked and Afraid where they like find a trophy hunter traps?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was fake, but oh no, you know what? It wasn't that one. It was the one with the dude that's like kind of chubby and he has like 2 ponytails.
Oh, Dual Survival.
Dual Survival, yeah. He was like with this one dude and like they were like in the desert and they found like a campsite and they found like a bag and then they took the backpack because it had supplies. But then they found these like planks of wood with like nails sticking upwards, like maybe like 10, 20 nails on like a little block of wood. And I guess they're for like, like if elephants pass by or like rhinos and they just like step on them. Well, like it like, goes into them. So it slows them down. So, and then they bleed. So they like start tracking them and stuff. And then they found like razor wire tied from tree to tree. So it would like decapitate them. I don't think it would decapitate them, but like.
No, you never know.
Yeah, I guess you never know. But basically, I think to get the blood trail going, I think so they can catch them. But yeah, not on board with trophy hunting. But I do think that. See, my thing about hunting is that it leads into like the whole veganism. I was trying to say like mayonnaise and vegan, like veganese. I don't know what I was saying.
Mayonnaise isn't vegan.
I know. Veganese is vegan though. Have you ever seen that?
No. I was about to say, what about Miracle Whip?
No. Dude, I saw this video on Instagram of this little kid like eating a spoonful of mayo and I almost puked. That shit was disgusting. No, but like it leads into the whole veganism, vegetarian thing, like hunting, obviously, right? Because they want to stop the killing of animals. And I think that in like those factories where they like mass slaughter the animals.
Shout out to Mike. He used to work at one.
Oh yeah, Mike's got stories about that. We're gonna have him on here. Everyone's just like, who the hell is this Mike guy? Like, he doesn't exist according to our girlfriend and fiance. And like I don't think that's cool. Like like the whole mass slaughter of it and this and that. But like, I think hunting is like a whole different aspect of. Like, you're not mass hunting animals. You hunt them, and then you eat them. And to some people, it's, like, their only source of being able to eat.
I was about to say, would you consider fishing a form of hunting?
Technically, yes. But, like, I don't know. Because I feel like the definition of hunt is that, like, you actually have to hunt down an animal. And fishing is, like, you just throw the line and then you sit down and wait for it to tug.
I was about to say going into like net.
Oh, like all that stuff? Yeah, I think so.
Like when they just drop the net and they just drag it and pull up everything?
Yeah, I mean, I would consider hunting, but like I would also consider that more like like you're talking about like the big ships that are out in the
Yeah.
ocean, like that's kind of like falls in line with the mass like murder of animals and like the you know like how they kill chickens
I don't
and
really
stuff.
agree with that.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is that like the main like activists for like veganism and like the animal killing and stuff, like I've never really seen anybody mention fish.
You know what? That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I've never.
It's always like the pigs, the chickens, the cows, especially the cows. And it's like, oh, like fish are getting killed too, you know?
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, even just that, like the whole thing when they drop the nets and drag everything, they just catch everything in the path. It's
and dude, it's not like, I don't think people like, if you ever seen like Deadliest Catch and stuff, I don't think that people realize like how big these nets are. Like, I think they're fucking humongous.
Deadliest Catch doesn't use nets though.
No, but
yeah.
Just like the fishing.
For reference.
Yeah, because like their boats are huge and you can
massive.
see. Yeah, like, you could see how big, like, to put into perspective, like their equipment is. Like the people that do use nets, like they're not these like tiny nets that you can't hold it with one person.
Yeah, you probably.
You know?
Yeah, they probably like special order. You probably can't go to like any.
Yeah, like you gotta get them custom made or whatever.
Because they're massive, huge.
Like they're like pulled up by like winches on the boats and stuff. So it's like humongous nets, and I feel like the activists that are like protecting the animals, quote unquote, like they're never really like fighting for the fish, you know?
Well, there's people out there like fighting for whales and stuff.
Yeah,
like, they're armed with machine guns and shooting the people.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I forgot. I remember reading about them. They're like armed with guns and stuff, and then they just like chase the whalers away.
Really?
Yeah.
The ones that are catching whales?
Yeah.
There's people that catch whales?
Yeah. People, it's still a thing.
Fuck.
And not whales as in like SeaWorld, like whales to like eat and stuff.
Yeah. And they're just out there in a boat with like AK-47s.
Yeah, they're just hunting them down.
It's like the Somali pirates.
Yeah, like the reverse.
Fuck, dude. I've never heard about that. That's interesting.
I was about to say, there's people in Africa too protecting like endangered species.
Yeah.
Like I remember I think it was like rhinos. Each one had like a signed person with an AK-47 just because there were so little of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I was going to say about like different countries like have like religious animals that they believe are like sacred animals, right? And it's like, well, like, because in China, like, supposedly they eat, like, you know, different creatures and, like, dogs and all this other stuff. And it's like, well, like, because people just have such a hard time putting things into perspective of other people's, like, life and culture. And it's like, there's people in America that really do not give a shit about, like, cows or, like, chickens, you know? Because they eat them. And it's like, well, what if it's the same perspective in China but just for dogs? Because they don't domesticate the dogs over there. Yeah. They're random animals that they just eat. And people just kill them and eat them. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying, like, just because they're domesticated here in the country that we live in doesn't mean that it's the same thing everywhere else. Yeah. And it's just a kind of perspective type of thing. And for the like hunting and stuff, like I think that I would say that hunting animal, whether I don't think people hunt like cows though, right?
Yeah, I was about to say it's
mainly like deer and like elk and stuff. But like, okay, like hypothetically saying, like if people did hunt cows, like the way that a cow would be killed in the same way that a deer is killed or an elk is killed is a lot more humane than the way that they take care of them at the slaughterhouse. You know, like most of the like hunters are like so like accurate and like precise on like what they do.
Yeah,
they're
like
meticulous. Yeah, they know exactly. Like they're like, no, it has to hit them right here.
I remember watching a video of this guy hunting a buffalo. And he saw a buffalo and he could have taken the shot, but he just let it go because he's like, yeah, it wasn't the right shot. If I didn't get him like at this exact point, he would have suffered or he would have ran away and I would have had to run after him. Right. So I'd rather wait for the right shot.
Yeah, because you could get him with one shot. And like, yeah, that's like the thing is like, I think that if you I just don't think hunting and people that are on board with hunting should be blamed for like this like veganism like activist type of thing, because like on the contrary, like if you live out in the woods and your only source of getting protein besides plants and tofu and all that stuff is hunting your own meat, then that's actually like more favorable than like you going to the store and purchasing like the bulk meat that they just brought from the slaughterhouse, you know? And I think that's just like I said, like I think that's a perspective that like these activists like people should take on hunters and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not saying I'm a hunter, like I buy my fucking meat at the grocery store just like everybody else, and I've never even been hunting or fishing, but just like from my understanding and like researching and stuff like that, and like actually like watching people hunt and all that stuff, like I do think that they're doing more of a good than they are doing a bad, and it's kind of a choose the lesser of two evils type of thing, you know? Because these guys just hunt and like they know what they're doing and they're professionals, and they're not like, they're also eating like healthier meat because it's not being processed and like injected with whatever shit that they're injecting into it at the grocery store for it to be enough to feed our entire population, because like everyone's overpopulating like it's no one's business out here. So yeah.
Shout out to Cameron Haynes.
Who's that?
He's a Under Armour sponsored athlete, and he's a big time hunter.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I know like the Gerber does like all the hunting stuff, like the.
Yeah, he's always posting about stuff that he hunts, and he pretty much cuts it up and everything when he's there, and he just carries it back.
I used to follow like the Columbia River Knife Tool company, and like a long time ago, like I had unfollowed them because like they post a lot about like hunting and like skinning the animal and stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't want to see this, like I feel bad. But like then the more like I just like researched it and like learned about it, it's like, well, like even though it is like, you know, an animal that was killed, like it was humanely killed, and like it's already dead, like regardless like of what they're doing to it now, and also like hunters don't waste anything from the animal. And like I know that people that buy the meat at the grocery store are like, oh, well, I cook everything that's in the packet. And it's like, well, yeah, like they just threw away the entire rest of the chicken.
That's not true. They make it into chicken nuggets.
Oh yeah, they sell that shit to McDonald's, and then they put it in a blender, and then you go buy that after you eat dinner. But so I guess technically you didn't waste the chicken.
Wait, hold on. So you got to McDonald's after dinner?
Bro, yesterday I cooked some ground turkey and veggies for Zaya.
All right, real healthy.
Yeah. And it's about to get real unhealthy in here. And she's doing like intermittent fasting right now, and so she's like, oh my god, like I'm always starving. And then she like rushes home because she's like, I only have 30 minutes to eat, like give me my food or whatever. But I think she has like an hour or something. I think 9:10 she stops or something like that. And so I had like made ground turkey, veggies, and rice, and then she ate when we got home, and I wasn't hungry because on Friday we had food at our job, and I fucking downed like 4 slices of pizza and like a box of cookies at work.
Oh, I forgot there was cookies.
Yeah, dude, there's a shit ton of cookies, and so I just ate a bunch at work, and then when I got home, I was like, oh, I'm not hungry, so like, you know, I didn't eat, and we cooked a bunch of rice and turkey, or I cooked a bunch of rice and turkey. And then we went to just go shopping. Like we were just looking around for, you know, like clothes and stuff. So we were just like at the store. And then the way back was like, I was like, oh, I'm like getting hungry now. And then I was like, but I know there's turkey and rice at home, but I don't want that. And so my ass got a munchie meal.
I was craving munchie meal yesterday, but I was way too tired to go get it.
Really?
Yeah.
After work or what?
After hanging out with my friends.
Oh. Yeah. And and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a munchie meal. So I got a munchie meal, and then I just ate my munchie meal. And then like literally like I got like the worst stomach flu after eating that munchie meal.
Which one did you get?
I always get the chicken tater melt. It's the only one I like. There used to be this one that they put jalapeno poppers in it.
I think there is one.
No, not anymore. They sell one that's like nacho cheese and like jalapeno strips or something. But like the actual jalapeno poppers that you buy from Jack in the Box, there used to be 3 of them on top. And so it was like a good deal because you get it for $6 and you get a pack of 3-piece jalapeno poppers for free. And you would just take them out as soon as you get the burger.
There's more.
So bomb. And I think they took that one off because they were losing money. But yeah, so yeah, Munchie Meals are delicious. But it was a bad choice to get one yesterday. I think that was my punishment for not eating the turkey and rice. And I was like, well, I'm going to eat it for breakfast. And then for breakfast, avocado toast and scrambled eggs. We still got turkey and rice at home. But yeah, I think that's all. That's all. We're going to wrap this episode up right here. We're just going to do the question of the week, I guess.
All right, yeah.
You want to get a question out of there?
Bridesmaids shouldn't be responsible for paying hundreds of dollars for your wedding.
All right. So this is like a unpopular opinion that someone had posted. Bridesmaids shouldn't be held responsible for spending hundreds of dollars at your wedding. Agree or disagree?
I don't really know by what they mean by hundreds of dollars.
Well, because, like, let's say you're a bridesmaid, or let's say your fiance is a bridesmaid for someone's wedding. A lot of the times, the person getting married doesn't buy you your dress or your heels or your makeup. They just tell you, like, hey, like, I need all the bridesmaids to wear yellow. And I need you guys all to buy this dress. And they'll give you the particular dress. And then you have to go buy it. You know, you got to go buy the same dress as everybody else and the same shoes or whatever, and then get your makeup done. So I think what they're saying is, like, that the person getting married should be held responsible for paying for all the bridesmaids' expenses.
I don't think I agree with that.
No?
As far as all the expenses, I think they could pay for their own shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dress, though? Because, like, I think that some of that stuff's expensive.
Yeah, well, I think it depends. Like, Maria was a bridesmaid, and the bride gave a color, and I think she gave him a couple different styles to choose from. So I think if it's like that, yeah, I think, you know, go ahead and pay for it yourself. But if it's like one specific dress from one specific place, I think, yeah, the bride should take care of that.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, because it's kind of like a negative thing, or like not a negative, it's like a lot of pressure, like when you're asked to be a bridesmaid, I can imagine. Like, shouldn't it just be like not, like, I don't know, like shouldn't it just be not bad to say like, oh no, like I can't? Because like I feel like that has like a very negative connotation to it. Like I feel like your friendship could end. Because I feel like the bride or the person getting married is like, oh, I'm so excited to ask so and so to be my bridesmaid, and then you're just like, oh, I can't, dude. I worked that day. Like, I haven't even told you what. No, overtime. Sorry.
Sorry. You know, gotta clock in with 70 hours.
You already know how it is at my job.
You know the vibes. Need to get this bread.
I think that I'm gonna say that I agree with that. Like, I think that the bride should pay for the bridesmaids stuff. And like, I know like a lot of people are probably like, oh, well, like the brides already have like a lot to pay for and like this and this and this. And they're like, well, they only have a lot to pay for if that's their own choosing, because you can go get married at a courthouse for very cheap if you wanted to. But you're choosing to have a big wedding and bridesmaids and all this stuff, like bridal parties.
Someone ordained.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike. Yeah, Mike's legally gonna marry me and Soraya eventually, and I don't think Soraya's on board with it because she's never met him and he's imaginary. But
I told Maria that he could marry us.
Yeah.
She said she's down.
Damn, Mike's gonna be at all the weddings, dude. I'm not even gonna pay him either.
I was about to say, we're going to have to get him on our payroll.
No, he makes too much money for us to pay him. He's going to pay me, I think, to marry me. But yeah, like, because, like, if you're wasting that much on a wedding, like, it's because you want it, you know? Like, I want a big wedding, but, like, that's also the reason why I haven't got married, because I know that it's expensive.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to settle for a smaller wedding. Like, I don't want to sacrifice certain aspects of the wedding, and like, I'm willing to wait on that to save up the money to get that done. But it's like, well, I also don't want a bridal party, and neither does Zaya, because like, we just like, I don't know, like, we just don't want one, I guess. So we don't, like, we're not gonna go through that whole, like, you know, make people like pay for their stuff or whatever. And then I feel like also, like, what if it's just like a burden on people, you know, like if some people don't make that much money, or like, you know, some people are more tight on cash, and it's like, well, you come at the wrong time, or like something like that. I don't know. It could just be one way or the other. But I think, I think this is the first question we had a different answer on. Yeah, I think that's all we got for now. Unless you got anything else, you want to leave anybody with anything?
It's okay to disagree with people. It's okay for them to disagree with you, so long as they're not. I mean, even if they're protesting. I mean, if they're going on some march or something.
Yeah.
You know, shouldn't let it bother you.
Yeah.
Unless they're blocking traffic. It should be legal to, I guess, plow through people blocking traffic. That's a hot take.
If they're protesting, let us know if you guys think you should run over all the protesters if they're blocking traffic. Yeah, I wanted to just leave it with the same thing about, you know, like, if someone has a different perspective on things than you do, I think that you should just kind of feel the need to educate yourself on that perspective, so that you get both sides of the perspective instead of just staying on one side, because the more you know, the better. And I think that you'll find a lot of different things happening once you learn, like, both sides. Like, people have switched, you know, like, political parties, and switched on takes from, like, different, like, activist groups, just by educating themselves on the opposite subject. And then they realize, like, oh shoot, like, maybe, you know, this is not exactly what I believe, and so on and so forth. So yeah, just make sure that you guys never stop wanting to learn about other stuff. And that's it. Just make sure you stay spicy. We get a shirt that says "Stay Spicy," dude.
I think that should be our first shirt.
Our first shirt.
Our first giveaway coming soon.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be doing a giveaway. We don't know what we're gonna give away though, but we want to do a giveaway.
I think a shirt would be cool.
A shirt?
Stay spicy.
That'd be pretty cool, huh? Stay spice. Stay spicy. Yeah, damn, that was a good thing you brought that up, because I completely forgot about that. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a giveaway. We don't know what to give away, so if you guys got any ideas, let us know. As you've learned from the past 4 episodes, I'm really broke, apparently, all the time, because I don't want to buy anything and don't want to pay for the bridesmaids' dresses. So let us know what you guys want us to do a giveaway on. And also, if you liked or enjoyed the podcast, just drop us a review on Apple Podcasts, and it would help us out a lot. And then subscribe to the Instagram at Shed Sesh Podcast on Instagram, and on YouTube as well.
Comment.
Yeah. Let us know. Just interact with us.
Yeah, let us know if you got any opinion on anything we talk about, or anything that you want us to talk about, or advice that you want us something.
Or topics. We love the topics. Yeah. We discussed a couple topics.
Let us know what you do for work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love talking about work, man. But I like talking about what other people do for work. Not what I do for work. It's kind of boring. All right. I think that's good for this episode.
All right.